Hello, everyone. I'm just going to introduce the musicians quickly before we start. We have Dov Mansky on the keyboards, Aubrey Johnson on voice, Yoon Sun Choi on voice 2, Andre Matos on guitar and the electronic effects, and the great Emanuele Duma, who will be narrating his texts. Thank you very much. Walking leg sees itself blind. A roving leg crumbles into a pause. The only thing a man needs is a suitcase and a soul.
One Story, An Intimate Stranger by Breton Breitenbach is about the origin of writing. Ancient Chinese law has it that writing evolved from magical signs, from runes and the symbols or depictions of the bones cast by diviners. On the day humans began to codify the signs and their meanings by repeating them at will, without the help of diviners, they began, in effect, to trace the openings to the unknown. Gods and demons wept because now there was no longer heaven and earth. Humans had interjected themselves between reality and dream. Now there was a go-between, straddling the known and the unknowable. Something autonomous had come into being.
Tired himself for hire. He tires instead from the slow and steady viciousness of staring at the world idle and underpaid. Men and women who build houses are considered illiterate. Their lives lack the sophistication of the educated, whose work is never menial. Of course, this is true in part. Yet to watch laborers is to learn their basic wants. How to eat enough to be strong enough for the longest amount of time. He receives the chatter when his body is benumbed by fatigue, at that time seeking distraction from the tedium mundane work. He is nourished by a staple of a different kind. Stories. He is nourished by a staple of a different kind. Stories.
Walking on the local Jalkana road, I see men with shovels and hoes waiting. Only 7 in the morning, the dali beside the road. What draws me to them? The growing number of idle men? Or in their poses and glances, how difficult it is to distinguish them from displayed wares? Bread and Coca-Cola, granuts and water, biscuits and akara. When they lift pans above their shoulders, place kilograms of cement on their head, or shovel gravel, they know they do a job considered of low repute. For some of them, masonry and bricklaying is a temporary alleviation of unemployment. For others, there is no foreseeable alternative, and hence, they meet their fate with equanimity. Most Nigerians know that the standard food for laborers is a loaf of bread and a bottle of Coca-Cola. There are food stalls close to each house under construction, or in some cases, food hawkers who come daily. When these women bring food, when a man has taken a break from lifting building materials, there is an exchange of rumor, gossip, news, or experience.
There is a little boy who has grown up close to water. He is on a boat in the middle of a lake. He sees neither east nor west, only water. He has never learned how it is possible to see pathways on a sheet of water. How do you know where to go? He asked the boatman with whom he travels. You carried away, the boatman replies. How can I find it? He asks again. Ask your eyes to show you where to go. Ask my eyes. The boatman laughs and then says, the question reveals your dense blindness. Go to the beginning. Every lake holds the memory of its mother. It is to her it strives to return. Imagining roads we follow home.
One day at dinner, while Mantia Diawara was making One World in Relation, his film on Edward Clisson, the filmmaker turned to the philosopher and asked, how can I simplify your ideas for a wider audience? Clisson looked at him and smiled. If I were you, I would wait until we were in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, then point the camera at the mass of water, its abyssal expanse, and that would be the film in one shot. The ocean is the world without partition and division, only depth and expanse. Because of its depth, it serves as a burial place. So if you point a camera at a mass of water, you get an opaque representation of gods and languages and objects and sounds, everything thrown in with bodies from the West African coast. The opacity of the sea is therefore its rich, dangerous promise. Some will drown, and some will reach harbor. In Bamako, he is known by name, which he tells me with no hesitation. But his actual name, Gabriel, he tells me in a whisper, in confidence. When I tell him our mission, overland from Lagos to Sarajevo along the coast, he says he is happy we are not traveling through the desert. There are many burial places in the desert, he begins to aver. We find stones in the desert, we remove the stones, and we see a decaying corpse. The name on the document remains legible. This is how we recognize the person. In the desert, death means nothing. Lajam returned from his travels, first West and North Africa, then South and West Europe. There was a world prior to my journeys, then a world after. He told me this: the people I have seen, the people whose stories I cannot forget. The people who would die trying to cross over. The young boys encamped behind a hill, possibly in Ceuta, waiting for the right time to make a run for the fence, day after day waiting, for some, year after year. Being driven to the border, the jam asked the driver to stop close to the foot of the hill. About 25 boys encircled him, their number rising like water finding its level. There are portraits of all the boys. There is also a list with their names, ages, and countries of origin. But none of these documents have ever been shown to the public. Here is a possible list with gaps in place of all the present and future boys of that Ceuta encampment. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25.
On va essayer ça. Là où je suis né, les tombes cachées des rebelles, des corps en centaines versés dans des fosses de vraies poubelles. Le cœur lassé des vieillards, scellait une éternelle haine qu'ils transmettaient sans peine aux adultes et aux gaillards. L'âme pourtant fragile des femmes, blessée par la lame de ces milieux de morts.
I learned from an afternoon with you how grief accompanies us, separate from our beloved dead. You're dead or a son, a sister, brother, not counting other relatives, all dead in the 5 years since you've been away. The distance, the feeling of distance, aggravated
As I approached the border station 100 paces away, I stopped to catch the words of a man standing by himself, reclining on an electric pole. The street was busy, idlers mingling with passengers, hooting cars synchronous with bleating goats. The man's head was inclined downwards, and his voice was subdued as a whisper. But I had been walking so close, I heard him.
Today and tomorrow, God's time is the best.
Then we sat under a mimosa tree. I was making the strip because I chose to write a book about the Senegal River and its tributaries and the lives of the people who lived along its banks. I was not courting a better life in Europe. His ragged backpack told the opposite. His travels were an imperative, harsher than a choice. I had read only the epigraph before he stopped me.
Even a life full of holes, a life of nothing but waiting, is better than no life at all.
He spoke with his eyes shut.
I have been traveling for a long time, going and coming many times, going and coming many times, going and coming many times. I have even gotten as far as Tangier, then sent back, then got there again, then sent back, then got there again, then sent back, got there again, sent back. See this paper, I got it there. See this paper, I got it there.
The paper was two-sided, crumpled, and time-worn, advertising an exhibition of photographs. Two children in the picture were playing in front of an advert box in a ports transit area in Tangier. The ship in the picture was luminous with fluorescent lights, harbored on a blue sea or approaching anchorage, calm as a stone. I am in Kidira waiting.
waiting,
My friend was arrested.
arrested,
We were standing in front of a train.
train,
I took a photograph with my phone.
phone,
Two policemen approached us.
Approached
They
us.
asked for identifying papers.
Papers.
I brought out my passport.
Passport.
My friend had none.
None.
When he was being taken away, he smiled at me.
Smiled at me.
But his face contracted
Contracted.
into many furrows, and he held open his palms like a supplicant.
Supplicant.
I watched him retreating,
Retreating.
half expecting he would turn to look at me.
Look at me.
He did not.
Didn't.
Now it was clear that our relationship was not one among equals.
Equals.
I have waited for his reappearance. I have dreamed of him reclining on an electric pole, reciting a chant. Today and tomorrow, God's time is the best. I have searched for him. I have been warned by policemen against circling the border station, peeking through cobwebbed shutters. Yet, without his name, I am told I cannot be given any information. In the dozens of hours we spent together, I didn't ask for his name, and he didn't ask for mine.
In the dozens of hours we spent together, I didn't ask for his name, and he didn't ask for mine.
My dear Emmanuel, will you draw a dinghy for me? I was once told that parts of dinghies are named after good mermaids who befriend the sons of fishermen. Imagine your boat will carry a lot of passengers. Its wheel be rolled slowly, wavering in the afternoon sea. Color it deep dark brown. In the blue of the Mediterranean, against the white vastness of nothing from horizon to horizon. It will be noticeable by a rescue ship from afar. Now you are a boat maker. You will hear about this news in due course. This certainty, or to be less optimistic, this resignation, is one shared by anyone who makes a life in the traffic of borders. A life of being away from home only to return tainted by wanderlust. A traveler for whom all restless cities appear similar in size and in labyrinth.
When night covered me in a prayer blanket, I interceded for our recumbent figures and watched the interminable horizon of lost love. When night covered me in a prayer blanket, I interceded for our figures and watched the interminable horizon of lost love. I know you twice, first as a distant beauty, second as a marigold, listening body. They say those who live die slowly. I say I dream much morning. I dream you're leaving. 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 I dream.
In Cynthia, I spend a considerable amount of time observing trees. They are dense in the distance, sparse as I approach. Only when I am close enough do I notice their singularities. And yet, because I do not recognize any of them, they remain anonymous to me. In the city where you and I lived, there were hardly any trees to serve as metaphor. Only now I am aware, do I realize that for you, I must become a tree. Every tree is the opposite of wandering.
Emmanuel Iduma. Andre Matos. Yun Sun Choi. Aubrey Johnson. Dove Mansky. Sara Serpa. And Andrea Ambro over there doing the sound. Neil Beckman over there doing the video. And everybody here helping with us with the sound. Thank you very much. Thank you, Michael, for having us. And yeah, congratulations, Emmanuel. Woo!